It's a well-known fact that success is no accident. It's a result of perfection, hard work, persistence, and learning from past mistakes. Integrity indeed is a true test of character. This resonated loudly among dignitaries from all walks of life, especially generals, admirals, marshals, governors, both present and past, educationists and royal fathers, who registered their presence at the book unveiling of a notable general, a man of total courage, an honorable man, full of humility, and of course, a man of integrity. In the Nigerian army today, General Alani Akinrinade is easily recognized as one of the most respected generals in the country. General Alani Akinrinade indeed basked in the love and goodwill of all his friends, past generals, admirals, admirers, on whom he has invested so much through his interactions with them over the years. They all came out massively to support him at his book presentation. General Alani Akinrinade was born on the 3rd of October 1939 at Yakoyo, near Ile-Ife, Osun State, Nigeria. He attended Offa Grammar School for his secondary school education from 1954 to 1958. He worked at the Ministry of Agriculture in the Western Region, Ibadan, from 1959 to 1960 before joining the Army. In the Army, he began officer cadet training at the Royal Nigerian Military Forces Training College, Kaduna, in 1960. He later went to the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, in the United Kingdom in 1960. General Alani Akinrinade was Chief of Army Staff and Chief of Defense Staff before retiring voluntarily from the Army at the age of 42 years. The event of the book launch witnessed dignitaries from all walks of life. These included the Governor of Osun State, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, the Governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, former Governor of Osun State, Chief Adebisi Akonde, former Governor of Ogun State, Otumba Gbenga Daniel, the Alaki of Egbalan, His Royal Majesty Oba Adedotun Aremu Gbadebo. Others included the chairman of the occasion, Chief Jonathan Adio Lokmade OFR, the chief presenter, Chief Michael Adeojo, founder Elizade University, Ilaramoki, Ondo State of Nigeria, General Alabi Sama, General Ike Nwachukwu, General Muhammad Magoro retired, Professor Anya O. Anya, Senator Musli Obanikoro, Chief Cornelius Olatunji Adebayo, Basharun Kola Daisi, Pastor Tunde Bakari of the Latter Rain Assembly, Ashuaju Alex Duduemi, Balogun Bisi Omidiora, Chief John Odayemi, Professor Wale Omole, and others. The event, which was professionally handled by the chairman CEO of Biscon Communications, Prince Bisi Olatilo, featured a robust presence of friends of the author of the book, General Ikwola Alani Akinrinade, from virtually all spheres of life, with a very huge preponderance of the guests from the military, the media, educationists, young and upwardly mobile corporate titans, business owners, and others. The title of the book is My Dialogue with Nigeria. The event began in earnest with the national anthem, which was quickly followed by the opening prayer, which was taken by Pastor Tunde Bakari of the Latter Rain Assembly. Shortly after that, the master of ceremonies, Prince Bisi Olatilo, took his time to recognize important personalities present at the occasion. The chairman of the occasion, Chief Jonathan Adio Bafemi Olokmade OFR, in his opening remarks, appreciated the entire audience for coming to celebrate General Alani Akinrinade, whom he described as a stubbornly principled person and a great son of Africa. He further stated that he is a statesman who has paid his dues in national service and has served his country meritoriously before retiring from service. In conclusion, Chief Olokmade urged the entire audience to always put their thoughts in books and memoirs rather than go to grave with them. He commended General Alani Akinrinade for a job well done.
On this occasion, we have gathered to honor a very young friend of ours. It gives me utmost pleasure to grace this book function for this great son of Africa, General Alani Akinrinade. Not being the reviewer, I will take to limit myself to my knowledge of this iconic statesman and administrator par excellence. He came across as a firm, very frank, but kind-hearted person. I also saw in him a duly destabilized Nigerian with strong family orientation and refined officer and gentleman. From the attendance here at this gathering today, you'll testify to this destabilized nature. Some of his colleagues present will admit that he was truly a gentleman and a fine officer. I also reckon that he shunned politics on principle. That gives him the moral authority to script this book he has aptly titled My Dialogue with Nigerians. While not immersed in politics, this dialogue is a continuation of his quest for peace and progress of his fatherland, Nigeria. He's continually seeking the good of his country. I remember hearing him once saying, "I do not wish to leave Nigeria as a country where my grandchildren are not certain of their future." He is stressing that as a soldier, he would fight to defend the country against external aggressors, but would serve to fight internally again. That is the Akinrinade, a soldier, statesman, and human disposition that I have known for over 40 years. I congratulate General Akinrinade for putting his thoughts permanently in written form. Akinrinade that I know is brutally frank. He's not encumbered to say it as it is because he does not carry the heavy baggage of partisan politics.
The publisher and chief executive officer of May 5 Media Limited, Mr. Ray Epu, in his remarks, said the event was more than a book launch. He described the man of the moment, Lieutenant General Alani Akinrinade, as an exceptional man who voluntarily retired as Chief of Defense Staff at an unripe age of 42, which is said is very uncommon in Nigeria. Mr. Ray Epu described General Alani Akinrinade as a courageous and principled man, full of humility, who believes that Nigeria can be great, a nation that works instead of the one that wobbles. And this is what has informed his crusade for the restructuring of Nigeria. Rounding off his remarks, Mr. Ray Epu said May 5 Media Limited is ready to offer research and editorial assistance to General Alani Akinrinade in writing his memoirs when he's ready for it.
Considering all that he has been, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Defense Staff, Minister of the Federal Republic in various portfolios, Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, he is eminently entitled to some bragging rights, but he has refrained from crowing like a cock. What he did is humility. In my book, a great man or a great woman must have the following qualities: frankness, the ability to speak the truth; courage, the ability to face odds without minding the cost; integrity, the ability to walk straight; and humility. In my book, those are the 4 characteristics of a great man. Alani Akinrinade has all 4 in my reckoning.
Professor Adebayo Williams, an educationist par excellence in the media world and also the book reviewer, congratulated the man of the moment, General Alani Akinrinade, on his giant strides, describing General Akinrinade as an illustrious Nigerian who has brought together what he called the greatest collection of generals since the Civil War in one place. He described General Akinrinade as an officer gentleman, Omoluabi par excellence, a thinking soldier who is driven by purpose all the time. In the review of the book, Professor Adebayo Williams identified the central idea of the book. He gave the audience some indication of the author's style. and approach before offering an overall evaluation of the book. He said the book, My Dialogue with Nigeria, which gives full details of the author's life right from the military era, is like a Bible that acts like a compass to humans. The book, according to him, pulls together the innermost thoughts and views of Lieutenant General Alani Akinrinade, former Chief of Defense Staff and pro-democracy activist, on true federalism in Nigeria and how to achieve unity that is equitable and benefits all Nigerians. He rounded up his review by admonishing the public to read, learn, and understand the principles in the book properly.
General Alani Akinrinade is one of the most illustrious Nigerian citizens ever. A great career soldier who rose to the very pinnacle of his profession, distinguished warrior, consummate strategist, military philosopher, officer gentleman, democratic freedom fighter, Omoluabi par excellence, Nigerian nationalist, and Yoruba patriot. This is the odyssey of a thinking soldier and how a man who started out as a career officer has ended up as a cerebral warrior, a military intellectual, a soldier statesman, as well as the beloved doyen of his people. General Akinrinade has shaped fighting with weapons for fighting with ideas. As I have said somewhere during the Abacha scourge, long after the guns have been silent, the supersonic boom of ideas, the thunderous artillery of thinking will continue to echo. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in saluting this illustrious son of Nigeria, scion of Yoruba nobility, extraordinary warrior, military philosopher, moral exemplar, and avatar of the Yoruba code of Omoluabi. I thank you all.
Please allow me to thank all my uncles, my aunties, the entire Akinrinade family, our friends, acquaintances, and associates, and those who I met very casually, who had been piling pressure on me to write my story. My late uncle, Professor Emeritus Adiagbo Akinjobi, had started to impress on me the necessity to write my story since 1971. The tacit effort I made then was what went up in flames during the years of the locust. Let me state that I will make further effort, hoping that will materialize in 3 years. I would just hope this effort makes some contribution to the dialogue on how to turn around our country from this road to perdition. I thank you all for coming.
Basharun Koladaisi, the founder of Koladaisi University, Ibadan, who is a renowned entrepreneur, in his own remarks, thanked everyone for coming to the book presentation. He described the man as a courageous man, full of humility and integrity, someone who has refused to give up on Nigeria. He described General Alani Akinrinade as a real pride to the Nigerian army. Rounding up his address, Basharun Koladaisi congratulated General Akinrinade on his great achievements.
I believe that one of the greatest gifts and endowments of General Akinrinade is his towering intellect. I think that should be mentioned because the existence, considering the existence, and you will do long, General Akinrinade, of people like General Akinrinade is another assurance for all of us that we should not give up on Nigeria. I would also like to take the opportunity, which otherwise I may not have had, to congratulate General Akinrinade very warmly, because looking at the faces that are present here today, I do not think any head of state, present, past, or even futuristic, can command the law, represent a cross-section of who matter in Nigeria. I congratulate you and your family, and I pray that your tribe shall continue to grow and increase. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The highlight of the event was formal unveiling of the book, My Dialogue with Nigeria. The book has the author's trademark and reputation as a journal who is frank and straightforward. The task of unveiling the book, My Dialogue with Nigeria, was given to Chief Michael Adeojo, OON, founder Elizabeth University in Ondo State of Nigeria. He unveiled it in the presence of other dignitaries, which included the author, General Alani Akinrinade, the chairman, Chief Jonathan Adio Olokmadewefor, the governor of Osun State, the governor of Ondo State, the Alaki of Egbaland, Obadedotun Aremugbadebo, and other dignitaries.
In the wonderful name of God, the Father Almighty, the Creator of the world, and all its contents, we are unveiling this book to the glory of God and to the glory of humanity. God bless us all. I'd like each of you to handle one of the...
The compere of the event, Prince Bisi Olatilo, Chairman, Biskin Communications, coordinated the official launching of the book, My Dialogue with Nigeria. As friends and colleagues of General Alani Akinrinade took turns to endorse and buy copies of the book, they also made very insightful comments about their relationship with General Akinrinade. Friends and colleagues took turns to talk about the host of the day, General Alani Ikwola Akinrinade. The Alaki of Egbaland, Obadedotun Gbadebo, in his own testimony, expressed his happiness towards General Akinrinade's achievements. He described him as a man full of integrity and honor. He said the book, My Dialogue with Nigeria, is about General Alani Akinrinade and the kind of Nigeria he looks forward to.
Most of the work that the GOCs do are done by the staff officers, but the names of the staff officers must never show anywhere. Otherwise, they should look for another job. It's always the GOCs that address the press, that the ones that get all the glory in all wars. It's not peculiar to Nigeria. But in his book, the real memoirs, you are going to read a lot about General Akinrinade. Something that many Nigerians would have occasion to want to replicate in their lives. So I say, sir, the best is yet to come. Congratulations for what is happening today. God bless you.
The governor of Ondo State, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, in his own remarks, thanked all for coming to felicitate with General Alani Akinrinade, whom he described as an elder who's always there to listen and give his advice.
When you put yourself in the position of an elder and you act it, you will hand the respect of all. So nobody, I can assure you, sir, there is nobody in Yoruba land, and I know nobody in this country who will not give you your deference, because you have never been one to be partisan on any issue. You hold yourself out as an elder. That's why we have the greatest respect for you, sir.
Other generals who served with General Alani Akinrinade took turns to talk about him while taking the gathering down memory lane. They all reminisced about how they fought together in the Civil War side by side with General Alani Akinrinade, his impactful influence which will forever remain evergreen in their life.
Sir, I want to say today in public that you are one of the best officers the Nigerian Army has produced. I met him when I was posted from 5 Battalion Kano to Lagos during the crisis in the north at the time. And he was then acting Adjutant General of the Nigerian Army. And I was posted as Staff Captain A. The next person to him is Deputy late General Alama. A man of integrity, a man of courage, a man of great understanding, a man of political suave, but won't join any political party. Here he sits there.
To the teaching of General Akinrinade, I am eternally grateful to the people I met through him, like Chief Alex Duduyemi. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Sir, I am glad this book is here, but this is not the book we want. No. There are many more books to come. I am writing my own. I have a small chapter on you. And certainly you have done a lot for me in my life. I have an institution called Gusau Institute. I am glad it was you who came to Kaduna to declare the scene open. It is a great success. It is recognized throughout the world. Every month we get people to visit it on the internet and visit it physically.
As a member of his family from the kingdom and a close uncle of his, I can only just congratulate him and wish him good health, long life, to continue in this crusade for the benefit of the nation and the polity. Thank you.
We are proud of Alani Akinrinade. Listening to you, his colleagues in the army, telling us how distinguished his integrity was among you, and we are very happy. The culture of hard work, and what we have been celebrating all day today is how hard work, as General Akinrinade has been and in his thoughts, and that is what we come here to celebrate. I wish Nigerian the best. Thank you very much.
In the remarks of the governor of Osun State, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, who thanked all for coming to the event, he said General Alani Akinrinade has done tremendously well for putting his views into writing form. He thanked him for his encouragement, support, and inspiration, which over the years has helped in his administration. Governor Aregbesola urged all to always have a positive impact towards the country to help meet her historical responsibility for Africa and the world at large.
We have had the contribution of General Akinrinade when in the military. We have had his contribution during the Nadeko struggle. We are living, that is experiencing his contribution now. What are we all required to do to help this country meet his historic responsibility to Africa and to the black man? Nigeria cannot and must not fail, if not only for the interest of Nigerians, for the fact that we are the only nation that can make the black man earning the likes of General Akinrinade, wherever they find themselves, must rise up to the challenge of salvaging our country and making it achieve its historic responsibility.
The editor of the book, My Dialogue with Nigeria, Mr. Soji Akinrinade, who is the younger brother to the author, returned all praises to God for the successful publication of the book. He thanked all for joining them at the event and wished all a safe journey back to their destinations. Mrs. Oduayo Ogumbiyi, the daughter of the host, General Alani Akinrinade, gave the vote of thanks. The event was brought to a close as Reverend Shegun Babatope led the audience in the closing prayer. Biscuit Communications heartily congratulates General Alani Akinrinade on the unveiling of his book, My Dialogue with Nigeria. We all look forward earnestly and eagerly to his memoirs before too long.